Nice, isn't it? Hi again folks, how you all doing? Well, if you were to ask me what my most wanted model is, the one locomotive I want to have in my fleet more than any other, this is it, the Scotrail HST. You can see these running on various routes in Scotland, but they're going to be replaced with Class 222 soon, sadly. I've grown up with HSTs, so I'll be ashamed to see them go. Anyway, this was sent to me by Cameron, and he told me it runs, but makes a sort of whistling or squealing sound. Let's power it up and see what happens. Yeah, that's interesting. It's not just squealing, it's slowing down, and you can see the current draw fluctuating. It's like it's hitting the brakes, but it seems to be okay in reverse. Let's back this into the shed and we'll see if we can sort it out. Right, okay, a Scotrail HST. I wondered if I'd ever get a look at one of these, and when Cameron contacted me and told me about it, I was like, oh. I'm keen to get a look at one, but I'm also quite scared because I'm just going to want one all the more. Yeah, it's a really nice model, and it's, like I say, it's a model of a current locomotive that I see quite often. Well, not often. I saw one, I was up in Aviemore and there was one pulled into the station there, and I was up at my sister's in Montrose and I could see one going along the line, not far from our house. But yeah, they sadly will be no more fairly soon. Class 222 is quite a nice loco though, but yeah, I really want to get one of these, and I'm very, very tempted to put a pre-order in for the new Hornby one that's coming out. It's a ridiculous amount of money though. Anyway, let's get a look at this. What's up with it? It's making a horrible squealing sound and slowing down like the brakes are coming on. I kind of suspect a bearing, whether it's a bearing on one of the worm gears or a bearing on the motor itself, I think is just needing lubricated. That's what I think. It's either that or a failing motor. Right, so there's 4 screws, 2 there, and there's 2 there. So we'll undo those, and hopefully the body will come off nice and easy. Right, is that going to come off? I don't like pulling this, it might come off. There we go. Right, okie dokie. Oh god, what have we got here? They're all connected up. Right, okay. We'll need to unplug this because otherwise we're going to be getting into a mess. Right, is that going to come out? There we go. So now we can get that out of the picture. Put it safe. Okay, we have got, what have we got? So there's the PCB. 8-pin socket with the blanking plate fitted, motor with fly wheels, the worm gears, the tops of the bogies, nice and accessible that end, and pretty accessible at this end as well. So I don't think I'm going to have to do too much dismantling here, unless the problem is the motor. I could get in to put some oil on the bearing there, but I think what I'm going to try is just opening up the gearboxes and putting some lubrication in and seeing if that's what's causing the problem. You can see the pickups down in the bogie there, the wiper pickup on each wheel, all look okay. These are the gearbox covers that hold they hold the bogie in place as well. So once you remove it, the bogie will be loose. Wow, that shot off. And there's not enough of lubrication in there actually, so yeah, we'll oil it up, grease it up, and see if that sorts it. But yeah, it might be the motor issues once again. So I'll get some oil in there, and in there. back in. And we'll get some gear oil into the one gear. The fact it was slowing down when it was making the noise kind of makes me think it's the motor more than the gears, but you never know. You've got to go through the process of elimination. That's that one lubricated up. Pop that back on. And that's fine. And we'll do the other one. Right, so that is the gears lubricated. We'll get a bit of oil on the motor bearing down in there, if I can, like that. And to get into the other motor bearing, I'll need to remove the PCB. And if that doesn't stop the noise, we'll put it on the rolling road and see if we can pinpoint exactly where the noise is coming from. But I would suspect the motor at that point. Right, can I just get in here enough? Yes, I can. Right, we'll leave that loose just now. Okay, we'll give this a test run. Maybe we've fixed it. That'd be good. Okay, power on. Nah, it's still doing it. It's okay in that direction. Right, we'll get it on the rolling road. Okay. It does kind of sound like it's coming from this bogie, but maybe not. What we'll do is disconnect this drive shaft. Take that out again. Lift that gear out. Lift the worm gear and that out. Right, so that's going to take this bogie here out of the equation. Yeah, so it's not the bogie. It's looking like the motor. We'll disconnect this one. But I think we're looking at taking the motor out and possibly replacing it. Yep. Yeah. Iffy motor. Again. Okay. How do we get into this easily? So there's a bracket here and there's a bracket either end of the motor. But first thing I'm going to do is go online and make sure that our replacement motor is available. Here we go. Okay, so I've just been online and the good news is that motors are available. So I've ordered one up from the new modeler shop and we'll fit it on receipt. Should be fairly straightforward, I think, because it comes with the flywheels and everything. So yeah, it's not going to be like doing a motor replacement on a Hellion or anything. Right, okay, we'll come back to this in a few days' time. Get some lunch, take the dogs out. Okay then, a few days later, we've got the motor from the new modeler shop, Hornby Part X9863. I like the fact that this comes with the flywheels, the mount, screws, washers and the wires attached. So it really is a case of taking the old motor out and sticking the new one in. There's no messing about like there is with some other models. It should be simple enough. We'll unsolder the wires first, I think. That one. That one. You might need to get a solder sucker on that, I think. Just open up the wee holes. Okie dokie. So there's a plate on the top here that needs to come out. I'm wondering how different the new model from Hornby will be. Or is it just a retooling? I kind of hope it's just a retooling, maybe with a more reliable motor. Because I don't see much wrong with this. You know, it's nice and simple, it's pretty easy to work on. The bogies are nice and accessible. It's not an overly complicated design, you know, it's fine. So 4 screws holds the motor in place, like so, and it should now just lift out, like that. This does have the wee tabs. You could, in theory, open this motor up a bit, but there's not much space between the back of the flywheel and this, you know, the plastic end, because that mounts in there. So you wouldn't be able to get this out very far, I don't think, to get in to clean it. You'd have to take the flywheels off and everything. So no, it's just going to be, for, you know, for what it costs, it's just easier just to replace it with a new motor. Right, so the little washers are still in place, that's fine. You do get new ones with the motor, but we'll just use the old ones. The wires are thinner, which isn't a bad thing. Oh, that's interesting. On this one, on the old motor, the red wire is on the right and the black wire is on the left. On this one, it's the other way about. So I think what we'll do is we'll install it and we'll rebuild it, and we'll do a polarity test. We'll just touch the wires on the terminals on the PCB just to check which way those wires should go. I don't want to solder them and then have to desolder them and swap them over. Right, okay, this should just pop in place. That, and then we have to try and get these screws in. Come on. Oh, there's a little bit of flash on the mount, that's what it is. Right, hang on. A wee bit of flash on the holes stopping the screw going in. Just clean them out. It's better. Get this plate in. There we go, that's the motor in place. I did give these a good bit of lubrication, but I'll get some silicone grease on the drive shaft end. Got a wee more spot of gear oil on it just because it's been disassembled. Put that back on. That's that one done. There we go. Right, okay, we'll get this on the test track, test the polarity. That's it, yeah, so that's fine. Black wire to there, red wire to there. Turn that wire. There we go, that's the red wire on. There we go, that's the new motor soldered in. That. I'll bring that up like that, just so the wires are not interfering with anything. That's fine. Okay, I think we're just about done. Just got to put the body on, plug the lights back in. Like so. then to the rod. Right, just before I screw it down, I'll give it a wee test run, which I should have done before putting the body on. Okay, power on. Away it goes. It's not like me to fit a body before test running it. I think I was just anxious to see this model all together again because it's so nice. Screws, 4 body fixing screws, slot heads. And there we go, we're done. Right, so there we go, that's a new motor installed in this Hornby Scotrail HST. A very nice model, of a very nice locomotive. And I have to say, very easy to work on considering. You know, I didn't have to go desoldering lots of wires and poking around to get at the motor. You just open it up, lift the PCB, and there's the motor. A few screws, desolder it, out it comes. The bogies are nice and accessible for servicing as well, so yeah, well done Hornby, a very nice model. Slightly iffy motor maybe, but yeah, well, that's modern locomotives for you. Right, okay, we'll pull this out the shed and we'll give it a run. We've got the coaches in the dummy car. Right, let's bring it out. Well, there we are. That's Cameron's Scotrail HST sorted out with a new motor. Such a nice model and pretty easy to work on, really. If this was mine, as I wish it was, I'd be replacing the couplings to get everything closer coupled. I don't know why they can't be closer coupled out of the box. Also, I found the coaches uncoupled themselves now and again, which isn't good. So yeah, I definitely want to put magnetic couplings on this for closer coupling, convenience and reliability. I'd also add a fourth coach to this, I think, but apart from the couplings, it's a really, really nice set and runs exceptionally well. I'll get one day, I'm sure. Okay folks, I shall get this packed up and reluctantly sent back to Cameron. Catch yous later.